All right. It's recorded. All right. Hello, everyone. So I am here today to answer some questions that have been submitted. And if you're on live and you have questions that you need answered, you could go ahead and put them down in the Q&A box. And if you're watching the recording of this and you have additional questions, you can drop them in the comments section and I can answer them for you. So I'm actually going to go here. I'm gonna no. Oh, I see why. Okay. I have to be logged in, I think. All right, let's try this again. Woo. All right, here we go. On the page. So many moving parts. This is coming from someone who considers herself not techie, but I will tell you, I'm getting techie in my mature age, just enough to be dangerous. All right. So I think we are live. We are going. All right. So let's get started. All right. So today we're here to talk about the Fully Booked Business Club, why I'm so passionate about it, why I am so passionate about people joining. And I'm going to answer a bunch of questions and help even maybe alleviate some fears, because I wrote some things down for myself actually today about how I have felt when I was considering joining a program of some kind. And it's crazy what our brains do to us. And I also have a guest on with me tonight, and she's going to be sharing her story also. I'm so glad she was able to come on. I was trying to have two guests come on. I successfully was able to get one of our guests to come on. It was my fault last minute. But so I just want to dive in. So the way people work with me, so a lot of people end up in my sphere because they've either started a business or they're interested in starting the business, or it's something, I hear this a lot where people are thinking about, they've been thinking about starting this business for a really long time. Here we go. I had a feeling. Yep. Okay. The sound should be better now too. They've been wanting to do this business. I've heard so many people who are like, this is something that's been on my heart and my mind for years. I've been saying I want to start this business for years. I know one of the members in our Fully Booked Business Club, she had shared with me, she had been thinking about, she works in healthcare and she had been thinking about starting this business for like 7 years. And for 7 years, she was thinking about it. And for the past few years, she's been gathering all the information, getting ready to get started. And then once she joined, she started to take purposeful action into moving her dreams forward. So first, I really want to say a couple things about the dreams that you have. So if you have an idea or a dream for a business, whether it's a concierge business or any kind of business, because I've had people even come into my realm who thought they wanted to do concierge, and then they learned how to market and they decided that that wasn't what they wanted to do anymore. They actually wanted to start landscaping businesses and flower pot businesses. And I had somebody go into operations, and somebody else became a business coach, or not a business coach, a life coach. And so just know that whatever the idea is that you have, the seed that's been planted in you right now is for you, because not everybody else in the world is getting those same messages that you are. So you've gotten a message, you have an idea, you think you want to do something, and then your job is to just take action on it, to take the next right step. Once you take that next step, the next step will appear. And once you take that step, the next step will appear. And so for many people, The idea that they have lives with them and within them forever. For some people, it lives within them for 5 years, and they take all that they've learned and then they pivot it and they use it somewhere else. So just know that the ideas that are planted within you were given to you by God, source, the divine, angels, whoever your higher being is, if you believe in one. I speak to the universe and the angels and to God. And so just change that languaging to fit whatever modality you believe in. Okay. The other thing that I want to tell you is the moment that you have the idea, the moment that you set a goal. So let's say your goal this year is to make 10K. Okay. Your first year in business, you want to make 10K. When you decide that goal, when it is a goal that is infused within you, it has been proven that you already have the resources to make that goal come to life already within your aura right now. They are not somewhere out there. Those resources, the clients, the potential, the money, the mentors, the community, the guidance, the answers, the right pricing, your niche, they already exist within you and around you within your aura right now. They are not out there somewhere. They're already here. A lot of times, the answers to our biggest questions are right under our own nose because we like to overcomplicate things. And so we're always in search of the more complicated answers when most of the time, the right answer, the easiest answer, the fastest answer is literally right under our noses. So I just wanted to start this conversation with that. The next thing that I want to talk about are some questions that came in about the program. So one of the questions that, and I will tell you, I get this a lot. So the first question is like, how does the program work, right? So the program is set up as a group coaching program. The reason why it's so valuable in a group coaching setting is because you learn for yourself when you have questions. And in addition to that, you learn from everybody else, from all the questions that they have. Some questions you were thinking in the back of your brain, but you might be too nervous to ask because you think this question's too silly or too simple or too stupid, right? I guarantee you somebody else within your group is thinking that question too. The other beauty to a group program is that even if you didn't have the question, you learn so much more in that group setting because you're learning from other people's journeys as well. So you'll learn things that are for you now, and you'll learn things that you're not even ready for yet that you'll be like, oh my God, that's amazing. I'm going to write that down. And then you already have the awareness of it for when you hit that point. So for example, a lot of times in my program, people, we have people in varying levels in the program. Some are like brand spanking new, like literally don't even have their name yet. And then there are people who have the name, they've got the LLC, they got the business cards, but they don't have the clients, right? So the people who got the LLC and got the insurance and got their business cards made, those people have different questions than the people who are, I don't know how to get my business cards made. I don't know how to set up my LLC. I don't know where to get my insurance. I don't know the questions to ask the broker, those kind of things. So you are always learning from everybody else in the group, as well as questions that aren't on your radar because they could be 6 months, a year, 2 years down the line from where you are now. But there's so much value in knowing what is coming. Okay, so that is how the program, so it's a group coaching program. It's a 6-month group coaching container. And we come together 2 times a month. And I start off each call with training. And then we have open Q&A. And this is where you get your personalized, individualized attention. This is where you get all your one-on-one questions answered. This is where you get your one-on-one support. In addition to, we have a Facebook community where in between our calls, if things pop up, you can ask in the community. You'll get answers from me. You'll get answers from other people. And this way, you're literally never more than like a Facebook post away from getting your questions answered, which is, again, the beauty of the program. Now, in addition to the live coaching and the live Q&A, you also get access to my fully booked process. It is my process that took me 5 years of throwing spaghetti at the wall, falling down, tripping, making tons of mistakes, thousands of dollars of worth of mistakes. And when I mean thousands, I mean tens of thousands of dollars worth of mistakes, things that I've invested money in, things that I paid people to do, things that I, ad stuff that I took out, and all the stuff where I wasted a lot of money. And I curated this program down to the most essential things that will help you get clients the fastest in the easiest ways possible, so that you don't have to go through that 5-year journey that it took me. In there, you have everything from the foundations of your business. I think I have my family texting me like crazy over here. Yep. You have everything from the foundations of setting your business up, to how to go out and get your first clients, to what to do when you build your website, to what to say on a sales call, to how to price your services, how to make 2K in 30 days, you name it. Everything that you could possibly need to hit your first 50K in your business is already provided for you within the program. You don't have to go outside and get anything else because it's already there for you. All right. Do I have to already have clients? No, absolutely not. That's the part of the program. You come in and you will learn how to get clients. Can I really do this? Yes, of course you can. The answer is always yes. But there are 3 things that you need to believe in. You need to believe, and sometimes it's hard to believe for yourself. So I literally hold the belief for you, is you have to believe in yourself. Number 1, and that's where I come in, because I'll hold the belief for you. You have to believe in your services. Number 2, that the services that you have will help somebody. And I'm pretty sure if you're out there helping people, you know that they're helpful, right? That's all you have to really know. And then the 3rd thing you have to believe is believe that I can help guide you through the process. We often think it's like the opposite, and we think that I have to have it all figured out before I join a program. I have to have it all figured out before I invest in myself. But you don't. Invest in yourself earlier when you know that it's what you want to do. Do I want you to join if you aren't 100% sure if you even want to have a business? No, of course not. If you're still in the, I don't really know if I even want a business phase, then this would not be the program for you. There's no reason for you to be in the program right now. Sit in the curiosity of it. You'll be sitting in the indecision of it. Allow that to percolate for a little while. And then when you decide, yeah, I think I want to do this thing, then that is your green light to go ahead and allow yourself to get that support. All right. Let's see. Another question I have is, oh crap, where is it? The times of the calls. Okay, so the times of the calls are, currently the calls are twice a month. They are on the 1st and the 3rd Thursday of the month at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Occasionally, we have to make a change to that only because if I'm traveling, but I try not to make any changes because this way you can put those calls on your calendar and you clear the decks to be live on that call. In the event that you cannot be live on that call, because let's say you're on vacation or you're visiting family, look, you have to feed you and nourish you in addition to while you're feeding and nourishing your business. So in those cases, that's okay. Miss a call, but all of the calls are recorded for you so you can go back and you can watch them. There's so much value in the recorded calls Because number one, if you get coached live, a lot of times you're taking the information like this and you're trying to jot notes, and sometimes you miss the nuances to the coaching that you're getting. So I always recommend that if you got coached on something, especially if it was a mindset thing, always go back and plan to rewatch that snippet of where you got coached. I just did this on Tuesday. I coached one of the members in my 100K club, and I was like, you have to put it on your task list right now to go back and watch this 10 minutes where I coached you. Watch your face, watch your energy, and watch what I'm talking about. And then you'll know exactly what I'm, talking about. Hers had to do with like the way she was phrasing something and the way she was telling people about something compared to the way I would tell somebody something, and the clear difference in the energy and the passion behind it. So I wanted her to go back and literally watch it for herself. So that is why the recorded calls are so valuable. The other reason why recorded calls are so valuable is because even if you don't come to one live, you go back and you watch it, and literally like the questions that you might be thinking are already being answered by other people in the group. So somebody asked me yesterday, well, how much one-on-one time do I get with you? And you don't get like, you're not carving out time. You're not getting me on the phone for 30 minutes, 10 times a month. That's not how this program works. And there's a reason why it doesn't work that way. Because the amount of information that I can share with you and impart to you and provide you with is a fraction. It's like a nanite fraction of what is already available for you within the program. There is, I think, a total of about 18 hours of education in the program for you to consume in a very easy, systematic way. And I tell you what to focus on and then all the other stuff not to focus on so that you don't get overwhelmed. It's not complicated, and you'll focus on the things that will give you the fastest return on investment. So no, there isn't like you getting on the phone with me for 30 minutes, but you get one-on-one support in the group calls, in the one-on-one time when you ask your questions live with me, in addition to all the other questions that pop up inside the Facebook community. Okay. So I want to mention too that there's so many assets in the program also. It's not just coaching and not just Q&A calls and not just the program, although that in itself has like easily a $10,000 value, because it's also stuff that you're going to learn over the lifetime of your business. So if you enroll and invest now into the program, as of now, the program is still $1,500. That price will be going up to $2,000. But you invest $1,500 now, even if you made $5,000 your first year in business, which is very, very low. I mean, you could literally make $5,000 your first year in your business with this program with two hands tied behind your back. Okay. But let's say you have a lot of other circumstances in your life. You're raising kids, you're moving, you have parents to care for, right? Let's say you make $5,000 in your first year, but then the next year you go on to make $20,000. And the year after that, you make $50,000. So now you've made $75,000 for a $1,500 investment. This is what we look at for return on investment. People a lot of times judge return on investment as an immediate response. The same thing happens even with and actually one of my guests today, I'm going to bring her on. So for example, I put on a live event last year in October. At that event, I invited people to join me in my 100K club, right? There were people there that joined that are in 100K club that are making a shit ton of money right now. Okay. Some people came to that and they didn't join. So you would think that maybe my return on investment for me putting the event on wasn't good, right? So I had X amount of people join, X amount of people did not join. But then what happens is 6 months later, 1 year later, 2 years later, people who were not ready to join then, who then decide, look, I'm tired of trying to do this on my own, and then they join. So you see that return on investment isn't just in the immediate, return on investment is also over a lifetime. All right, so I know that I have a guest here and I am going to pop her on if I can. All right, I can. Oh, and there was one other question that came in this morning, and it had to do with, and then I'm going to bring my guest on. It had to do with people who have been in the program before. So the container is a 6-month container, but as you know, if you've been reading your emails, there are some bonuses that come with that. There's your live pricing workshop. There is a marketing your services during the holidays workshop, and you're getting an additional 2 months of membership at no additional cost. Okay. So if you are someone who was in the program for 6 months and then you decided that, you know, life got in the way, or you were going to go do it on your own, or you wanted to go and implement, which is a lot of people do that. And I always say it's the worst thing to do because you're disconnecting from the energy source. But somebody asked me today, if I was in before, can I come back? 100% yes. Of course, the door is open for you to come back. Come back, join us, grab the bonuses, hop right back in and pick up exactly where you left off. Okay, so I am going to bring Krystal on. So Krystal, get ready. I'm going to bring you on. All right, where are you at? I promoted you to panelist. Do you have a camera on? Where'd you go? Oh, here she comes. All right, come on, Krystal. If you can put your camera on. Yay, there she is. All right, hey. All right, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi. So I wanted to bring Krystal on because I'm going to let you tell your story. So let's go back to when did you start, like when did you like officially kind of start your business? First, tell us your name and where you're from and your business name, and then tell us when you started your business.
Okay. So my name's Krystal Sperry, and I am the CEO of the Elite Concierge. I'm located in Daytona Beach, Florida. I started my business. It took a while. I'm not going to lie. I started stalking Kelly on YouTube and Facebook and reading the emails and signing up for all the little free things that she sends. I would say probably back in August of last year. And I was repetitively just every morning watching videos. And then you did the—
All right, hold on. I want to ask, wait, pause. So August of 2021, you were stalking me, which I get that story a lot. So if that's you, it's okay. This is how people end up in my world, right? You stalk, you watch, you're thinking, you're like, do I like her? Do I trust her? Can I vibe with her energy? Because some people will vibe with my energy and some people won't vibe with my energy. And that's totally cool too. If you don't vibe with my energy, then I would not be the coach for you. So I'm like straight to the point, tell it like it is, and with a huge bubble of love wrapped around it. But so you started stalking me August of 2021. When did you like have the where was the concept of starting your business? When did that happen?
I would say probably July. I had like a shift. I was working in a medical practice, and the doctor that I was working for was talking about retiring, and I was trying to figure out what I was going to do next. And I knew that I really liked helping people. I was really good at doing all those extra little things that aren't part of your job every day. And so I started looking into what that was called and Googling concierge, and then you popped up. And then, to be honest with you, I would put you on YouTube videos while I was doing my makeup every morning, getting ready for work. And I would listen to videos about being a concierge and what it meant and what I could do with it. All the way from August till probably October. In October, you offered I would say probably 10 emails
Yep.
to go to a 3-day live event. And
Yep.
the 3-day live event was there was a fee to do it. And I had to debate, like, is this what I'm going to do? Am I going to spend that money? Am I going to go to this event and really like, I mean, I'm
And
going to build a
I think
business.
the fee was what, $97?
It wasn't much, but it was still like it, to be honest, that was the first small amount of money that I invested into my business. It was the
Okay,
very,
I want you to pause right there, just because I hear that all the time, because 95% of the people who come through my programs, 99% are women. And women have this fear around making investments for themselves. There's guilt. There's, we always, I personally, I don't have that problem. I had a hard time investing in coaching in the beginning, but like, I don't have a hard time investing in myself. Like I buy whatever the hell I want to, but so many people have come through the program and they have cried to me that it is the first money that they invested in themselves, for their own growth. And it was one of the most powerful and liberating things that they've ever done. And truth be told, I was blown away by that. Like, I was like, oh shit, really? Like, wow. Because I've been in the arena now for, I've been an entrepreneur now for 12 years. So for example, my business coach right now, it's $25K for 6 months. Right? So I'm so much further along than that very first investment. And when, right. And then, so when they tell me that, like, even that, like you said, $97. So go ahead. I just want anybody who's watching this to just know that if that is you, this is a very, very normal feeling. The guilt, you feel guilty, you feel, what's the word I'm looking for? Irresponsible. I had somebody one time was like, oh, well, I don't have the money because we're putting an addition on our house. And I'm like, so you don't have the money, but you have the money to put an addition on your house, but you don't have the money to put the addition on your life. It's fascinating, right? Super fascinating. So go ahead. So tell us about your $97 purchase.
$97 prior to having a business license. I didn't have a name. I didn't even know what I wanted to do with it because there's so many different things that you could do. I just knew that I wanted to help people and that I wanted to do it. I wanted to own my own business, and I decided to invest in it. And Spark Live was the most emotional. I think there's videos of me full blown crying because it was like breakthroughs of like things that I didn't even know that I needed. Because with all of this coaching stuff, you don't just get what you get for your business. You get like personal stuff too, like how to survive in certain situations and how to, I don't know how to explain it. It's just really, it gets really personal because you're growing something.
Yeah.
And so I did Spark Live, and you invited us to join the Fully Booked Club then. And I just couldn't fathom spending that amount of money. I was just like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? And I would sit up at night after the event and I was like searching for ways to be able to figure it out because I just knew that Fully Booked was what I needed to do. But financially, it blew my mind, right? Yeah. So I continued to work and I piddled with my business a little bit here and there. And I still stalked you on Facebook and I still asked for every free little thing that you did. But then June came around and the doctor that I worked for did retire. And I was still in the exact same place with the exact same questions that I had back in October. Nothing had changed.
So 8 months later, and again, that's why it's so important for you to share your story because your story is so similar to what I hear from a lot of the other people who come into my program. Some people are just like, they're like, look, I want to have the best chance possible. I put a little money aside to grow my business. So I'm going to hire you to help me before I, build a website kind of thing, which I always think is really important because like I can show you how to get clients without a website. And then there's other people who are like, I was stalking and I was doing what I thought I needed to do. I did the same thing. Like I was doing everything I thought I was supposed to do. And then, 8 months later, 12 months later, somebody was 2 years later, literally in the same exact position, might have gotten a job here or there, made a few bucks, but still had the same questions. So
yeah,
take us from
everything
there.
was the same. The only thing that had changed was at that point in time, I said, okay, let me get my license. And so I went ahead and I started piddling around with business names and got my license and stuff. But then you get your license and you're like, okay, now what? How do
Now
I
what?
get clients? Like, where do these people come from? And you find yourself sitting behind a computer and we don't have the answers. I've managed businesses for the last 10 years of my life and for other people. And it's completely different when you're running something for yourself, and also in a different type of industry that you really have to learn about. And so in June, which was, well, we're the beginning of August. So the beginning of June, I signed up for Fully Booked. You did a live event, and then
I think it was like 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, I signed up. And boy, has my life changed. I cannot even tell you, I don't just have I want a business anymore. I actually have a business. And I have clients, and I have really big clients that I'm really excited about. And everything's just falling in place, one thing after another. And questions still come up every single day, but I just post on your Facebook page, or I shoot you an email, or I wait for our monthly calls and you give me the answers that I need, and I keep on trucking along. And to be honest with you, this is probably the best money I've ever invested in myself in my life. And I will continue to invest this money till I can invest into the 100K club, because I'm going to become a 100K member.
Oh, no joke, girl. No joke. So I can usually smell it on people, who's going to go all in. And there are some people who they come in and they're just they're more the turtle pace, right? They're a little bit slower. And if that's you, that's okay too. I've definitely had people come into my programs that are just a little bit slower. And so they don't go rapid fire like this. They just take a little bit more time. They have other things, carved out in their life. Some people are a little more nervous, and they have to learn how to embody their own confidence, because you got to have a little bit of confidence when you own your own business and you're going out there, being like, hey, you want to hire me all day long, right? Want to buy my water bottle? And so some people are more at a turtle's pace, and that's a totally fine, which is why the program is set up in a way that you watch, you absorb, but the important thing is you watch, absorb, and then you implement. You watch, absorb, and then you implement. And then, like you just shared, then questions pop up, but those questions aren't even available to you until you start implementing. Then when you implement, then the new questions arise, right? And you'll never get to those questions until you take that first step. So, and then there's other people who come into the program and they're ripping at the walls. I am here for it. I am going to get my money's worth. I sent an email out today about, getting your money's worth with things. And I've seen that with any of the people who've gone through any of my programs over the past several years, that the ones that come in and make it the priority, they hit that 100K in record time. You move the shit off the you're like, oh, I have a thing that I'm supposed to go to during the Q&A call. No. That shit's got to get moved. You should come show up at the Q&A call. Oh, I have a client at that time. No. Because you're not going to get more clients from that client necessarily. So you need to move that client and you're going to come to your Q&A calls, right? So the people who have made it the priority and dropped all the other bullshit and all the other excuses about why this doesn't work and the time doesn't work or the schedule doesn't work or I'm not getting, you drop all that shit and you show up for everything. Literally, one of my students texted me the other day. She's not a current student. She was with me for 3 years, 3.5 years, I think. And came in, made like $0 year one, made like 5K 0 day or like year two on her own. And then hit 70, like almost 75K. Text me the other day, she made $17,000 last month. 17 mother bleeping dollars in a month. I was like, I never had a doubt. Never. If she was on the West Coast, if I had a call at 9 a.m., she was on that call at 6 a.m., shower dressed, ready to rock and roll. Like no excuses. So for some people, you're a little on the slower path. That's totally fine. You get results too. You just usually get results a little bit slower. And then there's other people like you who come in and like dive at it and attack it for it and like rip it apart and like you're owning that shit. And you just go out and make it work. So what was it like for you to push the join button? Like, what did that feel like when you did that?
I was nervous. I had anxiety, like really, really bad because I mean, to be honest with you, when you work a full-time job, you work that job to pay your household bills. And so you wonder, okay, what am I taking away from my family? What are
you taking away from your family by not investing? What are you taking away from your family from the future of what your business can create for you?
Yeah.
It's really what it comes down to.
And in a short time, my family has actually gained so much more. I have control of my schedule now. I've learned so much. This program is amazing. I haven't even finished watching everything and learning everything. I've been doing this for 2 months. So it's been like overnight. I just do everything you say. If you say, put 7 spots on your calendar for this, I put those 7 spots on my calendar and they're there, and whatever those spots are for, that's what I do it for. And so, literally everything that comes out of your mouth, I follow it. And so far it has worked.
Yeah. And I will say too, there's something to be said about like following everything that I give you and finding your own way, right? So there's a combination of me saying, okay, here, oh shit, I just dropped my book. Here, you go use this. You go use this, right? But also you have to use your own guidance, your own intuition, your own inner knowingness in addition to this. You never block your own intuition and your own inner guidance to follow any coach blindly. Okay. It's about taking the lessons that they've learned. And that's what the program is. It's like the lessons that I've learned. And when I started making money, like really consistently, and I was like, okay, well, what am I doing now that I wasn't doing then? And where did I waste money there? And where was like complete loss of return on investments and things that I tried and rabbit holes I went down and problems that I created that didn't have to exist yet. And like, if I can just cherry pick out because in the business world and in life itself, there's the 80-20 rule. So 80% of your clients will come from 20% of your efforts. So the program is the 20% of all of my efforts that I created. Now you get to figure out what your 80% is from within what I am sharing. And you just put your own special sauce on it, your own special spin on it. So it's always a collaborative. It's me giving you like the book to follow and you following your own knowingness, which is really, really important to me. And if you're new to me or you haven't experienced me in a tight-knit setting before, I'm very spiritual. I talk to angels. I have oracle cards. I've had healings. I went to a healing bowl ceremony on Tuesday night. I mean, vision boards, you name it, intuitives, mediums. I've done it. I believe it all. Whatever supports my heart and soul, I am 100% into. So the business that I encourage people to build is a business that's in full alignment with who you are as a human being. And so that's where your secret special sauce comes in, because people don't want to hire a Kelly Schaefer. They want to hire a Krystal Sperry, right? So you were really nervous when you did that. And then after you hit that join button, then what happened?
Excitement. I was waiting for like the email to be able to like log into the portal and like see what I just got myself into. And I couldn't wait. I mean, I was literally, I dove into it that day. I would say that night I stayed up till like 1 o'clock in the morning watching videos of you talking. And now I will say I've had to go back and like watch some of those videos multiple times because you learn something and you implement it, and then you have to go back and you have to do it again. But it was like excitement is really what it was. And now it's relief, because I know for a fact that if something comes up, I have somewhere I can go to. I know that because I'm still learning. And so I know that with this new client, whatever my questions are, I can post them or hold them till our monthly call and just, keep track of what they are. And I know that I'll find an answer. So
yeah, there was yesterday somebody posted in the group, Andrea. So Andrea works full-time. So we had to create a strategy for her specifically because she's working a full-time job while starting her business as her side hustle, right? But she's not treating her business. There's a difference between having a business that's your side hustle because you have a full-time job that's paying the bills, or treating your business like a side hustle. Right. So Andrea is not treating her business like a side hustle. Andrea is treating her business like a full-time business in the allotted amount of time that she has available, because she has a day job that is quote unquote paying the bills. And so with her, she just had a new client. She just got her very first client, a senior, and which is very normal. The family hired her to come in and help the senior. The senior was very resistant to it. And I was like, I'm going to share and impart some insights with you on our call on Thursday, because, and I have a lot of nursing background too. So if you're in the senior industry, I have a lot of extra special sauce that I can teach you about navigating families and seniors and that kind of thing. And so I love being able to like support her through that. And just like Cindy last week, Cindy had a referral that came in. It didn't, like, quote unquote, didn't pan out. And she thought that it was all about her. And I was able to really just like spin it and just share with her that there's this whole other perspective that she could believe. And it's not that it had anything to do with her. It's because if you work with seniors, they don't like change. And any human being that's coming into their space to help them, they feel like they're losing their autonomy. So that's just a little tidbit for you if you work with seniors. Okay, so all right, so you press the button, you're in, you were excited, you've been diving in. There's so much that you haven't watched yet, which is very normal, right? Because there is a lot there. That's why it's a 6-month program. And it's why people renew for the next 6 months, right? Because this way you build on the momentum, you keep going. Never unplug from the energy source of what is providing you like your return, right? So I was with a group program for 5 years. 5 years I stayed connected because I was always finding, and like you said, you're not just evolving as a business owner, you're evolving yourself. You're growing as a human being. You're growing as a leader. You're showing up as a leader in your community. And these are all skill sets that you learn that you're not going to learn in a 6-month period, right? Like these are things that take time. And a lot of times we're in a rush to get to the end and think that we're all done. But then there's always this next layer and level of growing and maturing as a business owner. So let's jump forward to, since joining, how had you made any money up until that point?
No,
You had made $0 at that point.
$0. Yeah.
Okay. So how much money have you made since you enrolled in June? Because you have some monies collected and then you have monies like sold, right? Because you
I do. I have.
Because Krystal, so while you're calculating, Krystal was at our live pricing workshop and I map it all out. So again, people will ask me, oh, can I, book you for an hour and you help me price my services? But the pricing, it takes me 2.5 hours to go through that, 2.5 hours to teach that so that you understand it. Because it's not just about pricing services. It's about pricing your services, packaging your services, and then aligning your marketing to what you are selling, which is where people screw up, right? The same with if you are not getting the clients that you want, because a lot of times we dive in, we think we know what we want, we start getting clients, we start getting a bunch of clients, we're like all happy, yay, I got paying clients. And then you're like, oh, but I don't really like the work I'm doing here, and I don't really like the work that I'm doing here, and I don't really love this client over here because it's not actually the work that I wanted to do. And so instead of being like, oh, I suck, I got to throw it all away now. No, there's one thing you have to go back to your marketing. And if you haven't heard me say this, and I'm pretty sure I've said it like 20 times this week, is you have to market for who you want, not for what you think you can get. And so that is, again, why being in the program, I can help you hone that. So you bring that to me, you're like, oh, I got clients, but this isn't quite a right fit. And I'm like, okay, well, we can go back, we can pinpoint how you got that client. And then moving forward, we can shift your marketing so that you know how to talk about it in a way that you will stop attracting the people you don't want and you will start attracting the people that you do want. And that's a constant evolution. And you'll do that literally for the length of your business, because you'll refine and refine and refine and refine and refine as your business grows. So, my friend, how much money have you made in the past 6 weeks?
So I haven't added it up, and I could actually cry because one of the things when I first signed up for your program, the first module says 2K in 30 days. And I received a payment today, and I am at $2,300. Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't realize it, but I received a payment today, and I did 2K in 30 days on June 1st when I first signed up for it. I started that thing, and I received a deposit today into my bank account, and I'm at $2,300. I did it. I did 2K in 30 days.
Holy
And
shit.
I didn't even know it. I didn't even realize it. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, first of all, I don't know if you've ever heard me say this before, but there are no sorries in front of me.
I know. Oh,
yeah, you just say, thank you for giving me the space.
Yeah.
I am full body chills and utter just pure joy for you.
Wow.
Pure joy.
Wow. Yeah. I have stickers all over my house that say 2K, and I'm learning my way to 2K in 30 days. They're all over the place. They're in my kitchen, they're on my computer, they're on my mirror in my bathroom, stickers everywhere. And wow. Yeah.
So now the next goal is 2K in like 20 days.
Yeah.
So we don't jump. I talked about, I coached somebody yesterday. She had a record month. She's in 100K club, and she had a record month. She made $3,700 in July. It was her biggest month ever. She's been doing $2,700 every month for a really long time. And so she made this $3,700, and I was like, okay, now your brain is going to want to go to $5,000 next month, because that's what our brains want to do. I'm like, don't let it do that. Just do $3,700 in 20 days, 30 or 21 days, in less than 30 days. Because when we can make I have found this, when we can make our goal, there's something to be said about setting great, big, crazy goals. But if you're a really ambitious human being, a lot of times we set goals because we think that that's going to like change who we are, and we're going to feel better when we get there. And that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But if you just shift it that way, so keep the same goal in less amount of time, it's almost like bypasses the part of the brain that wants to flip shit on you. It's like you're like sneaking around the corner instead of like making the brain have to stretch. Oh my God, now I have to learn how to go to 5K. It's like, actually, I don't have to learn how to go to 5K. I know exactly how to make $3,700. So you know exactly how to make $2,300. Now you're just going to learn how to make it faster.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now
I didn't even realize that I had.
A lot of people don't when they hit that.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So what would you say to anybody who's on the fence about enrolling? And I know, like, so originally we weren't opening enrollment until October. Like I had it already mapped out for October was going to be our next enrollment. And there was so many emails that were coming in that they were, they missed it the last time. They were on the fence and they were afraid. They missed all the emails because they were on vacation. They wanted to go find a way to pull the money together. They wanted to talk to their spouse about it. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to open it up for 3 days. It's a great opportunity for people to come in now and not wait till October, because you're also going to get the holiday marketing workshop, which we'll be doing, that I do live, and you don't want to miss that. And so why would you, number one, why should somebody join? And number two, why should they join now and not wait until October if their heart is drawing them, right? Like this isn't about like persuading anybody to come join, because I don't want to persuade anybody, because somebody that I'm persuading is not going to come in and dive in and get the results because they're like doing it because they feel like they have to. I don't want anybody to ever join because they feel like they have to. I want you to join because you believe in yourself, you believe in what you offer, and you believe that I can help you get there. So why should they join, and why should they join now and not wait till October if their heart is calling them there?
I think that the Fully Booked Club makes it easier. It takes away all your questions. It takes away, I mean, you still have questions, but it provides answers for those questions. And so it makes the process of starting the business, the scariness of starting the business, everything that goes into it, it makes it easier. There was nothing that happened between October and June. I literally had the exact same questions. And what's happened from June till August 3rd is unbelievable. So why? I mean, if you really want to open a concierge service, this is where the answers are. This is the instruction. I mean, for sure. Why before October? Well, I personally am excited about the holidays. Last year I was looking at concierge service businesses last year during the holidays, and I'm going to tell you, I had no idea how to market. I had no idea who to look for. I didn't know what to do with the business for holidays. So I personally am excited about the holiday marketing thing, but the sooner that you do it, the sooner you get started, the sooner you make money.
And the sooner you get to help some people.
Yes. And it's funny because, you talked about seniors. Everything that you teach translates over to, because I don't work with seniors. I have no desire to work with senior citizens. I have my heart. I would fall in love with all of them and want to give them everything for free. So I chose to work with busy people, and it like all transcribes from one niche to another. So it's really nice. It's
and honestly, any local service business where you're helping people, whether it's concierge, organizing, care management, anything where you are getting clients locally to you, this program works for you. I just happen to have a lot of experience in this specific industry, but this specific industry has so many nuances to it. There's so many variations to it that, yeah, that's what I'm going to say. All right.
Yeah, it's really great. I appreciate you and will continue to appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you for appreciating me. I love that. All right. So I just want to see, I don't know. Elizabeth said, I'm guessing you were an ED nurse. I don't know if she was talking about you or for me. Me personally, I was not an ED nurse. I hated the ER. Hated it, hated it, hated it with a passion. My love was in med surge, and I also worked in a vent rehab unit, in a lung unit, in a very high level 1 trauma centers is what I always worked in. And then I worked as a manager in a 50-bed nurse in a 50-bed unit in a nursing home, and then went back to healthcare, back into the hospital setting. And that was more of med surge, urology but I hate the ER. Always hated the ER. Blech. Not my jam. Thought I wanted to be an OR nurse, honestly, because I love the body. Anatomy was my jam. Love anatomy. But standing in one spot all for like 5 hours straight would drive me bonkers. I got to go in as a student one time, and I literally held somebody's beating heart in my hand. Super cool. And I was like, that was cool. And I know I don't want to do this, which is great. That's how we learn, right? Just like in business, like even when you're like not sure what service you want to do, or what you're not exactly sure what niche you want to do. Yes, you want to pick a niche, even if you don't know what your niche is, pick one so that you can market to the one instead of trying to market to 10 at the same time, because that runs your shit out. You get overwhelmed, you over hustle, and the money barely trickles in. Whereas if you just pick one and then take all of your time, and instead of taking all your time to 10 different niches, take all of your time to one niche, you'll get clients so much faster that way. And then if you get in there and you're like, I don't like this, then you switch. But then you take the marketing that you learn and the skills that you learn how to market and price and sell, and you just shift it to your new niche. Not a big deal. Super easy. All right. I have the energy and talk of an ED nurse. Yeah, I really do hate the ER. Passed out in the ER once, actually, I was a nurse's aide. There's a young girl who had CP, who was in her wheelchair, and she fell down the front steps in her wheelchair and came into the ER. And at the time, I think my daughter was 5, and I fell over. I couldn't. I was like, I can't. Nope. That's why I also don't like the ED. 1, didn't like the ED because you never know the face of who's going to come in. 2, I also worked in inner city hospitals, so you never knew who was coming into the ED and what crazy trains were coming into the ED. And 3, I never felt like I had an opportunity to connect with the patient. Like in the ER, it's like you patch them up and you ship them out. And I loved the connection, which is why I love what I do, because I think I'm uniquely gifted at connecting, at relationships, and at creating loving bubbles and communities. So that is going to probably wrap us up. I just want you to know that if you have questions like, will it be what I need? What's my ROI? Will it work for me? Can I do this? What if I don't fit in? These were the things I wrote down earlier. These are all normal emotions. It's because you're on the brink of your comfort zone. And this is your brain literally being like, red alert, red alert, red alert, red alert, danger, danger, danger. And I promise you, I am not dangerous. So it's just a byproduct of your fears, and it is very normal to question everything, to have 1,000 excuses, to say this isn't for me. And I just say, tap into yourself and do what your heart says to do. Whether it's a yes or a no, follow what your heart says. All right. Krystal, any last words? Miss just made $2,300 in 30 days.
It's possible.
It
It's
is.
completely possible if you invest in yourself and you take a leap of faith. It's completely possible. It really is. I was so scared to join, to spend the money, to take it away from my family, and I took a leap of faith. And I believed in you, but also in me. I believed in me
Yes.
that I could do it, that I could start my own business, and I did it, and I'm doing it, and it's very, very possible.
It's inevitable
Mhm.
when you do the work. You do have to do the work. So just so
Yeah.
y'all know.
Oh, it's a lot of work. I will say
You gotta
that.
do the work.
It is a lot of work,
But it's not hard work.
no, and some of it's actually fun, to be honest with you. Like, I enjoy a lot of what we have to do to be able to get things going. And so I went from sitting behind my computer every day, like Googling and what am I gonna do and how am I gonna do this, to really getting out there and figuring it out. And so it's completely changed my perspective on how to get going. I mean, in the industry that I was in, I ran a medical practice. Clients came to me, patients came through the
Yes.
door. So with this, you have to find your clients, and I didn't know where to find them, but you give all those answers out. So
Yep. Yep. And really, you don't go find them. You just show up
mhm,
and then they find you.
mhm.
When they pull their head up looking for the solution that you have, you've got to be there.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. Just like you stumbled upon me. So if I didn't have free things and I didn't have a YouTube and I didn't have a book, you might not have ever found me. And I could have just like sent out one blog post every month, and then, you wouldn't have found me.
Yeah.
I had to keep showing up after 10
Left out the book.
emails, 10 emails, getting your ass to Spark Live.
Yeah, I left out the book. I bought the book too. Prior to signing up, I bought the book, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to read this book and it's going to tell me everything I need to know. And it does tell you a lot of information. The book is great, but you still need more. There's still more questions, and
I tell you what to do, but you need
Yeah.
all the meat that's in between,
Yeah,
which
and it's
that would be
support.
like
It's
an
support.
encyclopedia
It
set.
support.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody needs support to grow their business, and you can't do things all by yourself. If you can, but if you do, it's not. It makes it a whole lot harder.
It does.
Yeah.
So much more fun when you build a business with friends.
And you're fun to watch.
I think when I was a child, I wanted to be a Playboy bunny. That was my thing. And then as a teenager, I wanted to be a soap opera actress. So I think that's where my theatrics come out.
Yeah.
So, all right. Mwah. Thank you so much for taking all this time out of your day, because I know your day is very important as well. You've got some clients to serve. So I want to thank you upfront for doing that for everyone. I am certain that everybody here learned from you. They were inspired by you. I know I have been even inspired by you, because even though I am so much further down the path than where you are right now, it does not mean that I am not inspired by every single little freaking win that all of you share. Every time that you're willing to go out there and do something you've never done before, talk about your services in a way that you've never been willing to do before, trust in yourself, trust in the value that you offer, trust that you can make a difference in people's lives, and just be brave. It's my honor to help support you all. So thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Bye.